Well, you want to learn how to vanquish your mindset monsters. So how many of you guys are feeling like 2020 has become the villain of your story, especially if you already own a travel business and coronavirus hit and all of this craziness ensued? I know a lot of us are feeling that way. A lot of you are feeling overwhelmed. That's exactly why I created this series, Fall Back in Love with Your Travel Business. And this week, we are going to teach you how to slay those mindset monsters, those big, ugly, yucky, hairy villains that are holding you back from everything that is possible in your world. So if you want to vanquish those mindset monsters and really get clear on what you want out of your life and business, if you want to become the hero or heroine of your story, how do you do that when you're feeling this way? I'm going to tell you how, and how do you make that big comeback at lightning speed? We're going to be talking about all of that on today's show in this first of 4 segments that we're going to be doing in the Fall Back in Love with Your series. And you guys know I always share a fun coffee mug. Of course it's Haunted Mansion. Of course it's fall. Did you see the little Haunted Mansion in there? Of course it's fall related. So grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's get into this. By the way, if you don't know who I am and you're probably maybe a little frightened right now, you're like, who is this crazy lady in this Maleficent costume? So guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Cyndi Williams. I am a travel industry expert and I started in the industry way back in the 90s, over 25 years ago. I had my first $1 million sales year at only 19 years old. I was just a baby. And now if you fast forward to today, I own my own award-winning travel agency, and I'm also the CEO of Careers on Vacation that teaches people how to launch, grow, and supersize their travel businesses all over the world. So enough about me. If one more thing, if you guys are new here, new to the show, make sure you take a moment to subscribe and click that notification bell over on YouTube, especially this month, because we're giving away an iPad as part of the series. You can win a brand new iPad. All you have to do is register. I'm going to put the link below in the video description, and then all you have to do is check out the 4 videos we're going to put out in the month of October and just leave me a comment. So we're going to draw the name, verify you have those 4 comments over on YouTube or Facebook. You can do either one, and that gives you a chance to win an iPad. So definitely go over and do that. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into this week's content. Teach you how to slay those mindset monsters. Alright guys, so today we are discussing how to vanquish the mindset monsters. Do you guys have mindset monsters? I know you do. We all have them. And listen, it's normal to have some mindset monsters. But the difference between those that are excelling and those that get a little bit more accomplished is they know how to slay those mindset monsters or keep them at bay. So first I want to talk to you guys about getting clear about what you want, because this is kind of the first step in kind of like laying out your territory. If you were in Hocus Pocus, it's like put your salt circle around the things that are sacred to you, right? I'm trying to fall theme all of this stuff, y'all. So what I want you to do is first get clear on what you want. And I understand, listen, like 2020's brought a lot of disappointments. There's been a lot of challenges, but that's why this fall series is so important. And that's why it's important that you just take a minute to figure out what it is that you want and really get clear. So when I say get clear, I want you to think about, clear the disappointments of this year, operate as if it didn't happen. What would be your biggest dream for your life? Is it to have a certain house? Is it to have your business at a certain size? Is it to have a different type of relationship? This doesn't just have to be about travel. I know that's what I teach you guys about, but this is applicable to anything in your life that you want to accomplish. And I want to give you an exercise here to help you facilitate this faster. So I want you to, first of all, take the limits off of yourself to go, well, all right, so COVID hit. Hang on, this is bugging my ear. So COVID hit, or all this craziness hits. I better put a cap on what I'm dreaming about is possible. No, like the purpose of this exercise is to clear the deck, like clean slate. Just operate from a space of anything is possible, and if anything is possible, what do I want to manifest in my life? And don't put limits on those dreams. Take those limits off, because that you want to start in that place, like, what is the biggest vision for your life? And look at it this way. If you shoot for the moon or shoot for the stars and you land on the moon, are you gonna be sad? No. Like, if your goal is to do 100,000 in your travel business next year and you land on 88, are you gonna be sad? No, you're not. You made 88,000, right? So I want you to really get clear on what those big things are for you. The next thing I want you to do is get out a sheet of paper, and I want you to write down 10 things that you want. And guys, those can be material things or they can be non-material things. So for some of you, it might be like, oh, I want work-life balance. Or maybe you're enjoying working from home, and whatever you do in the future, that's a part of what you want in your life going forward. So whatever those 10 things are, you know, if it's a certain house, if you want to live in a certain city, if there's a certain car you want to drive, if it's the type of relationship that you want to start having or seeking, or whatever the case is, write down those 10 things that you want out of life. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to pick 5 things that you love to do. What are 5 things that just fill your soul, right? This year I discovered gardening. I was never a gardener before. Like, I kill everything. If it's a plant, I promise you I can kill it. But this year I really learned through COVID, I kind of like gardening and like learning about flowers and plants. But whatever those 5 things are for you that you just love to do. Most of you watching this channel love to travel. Write that down. I want to travel the world. I want to go to these places, or I love pottery, or I love gardening, or I love whatever those things are that if you didn't have to worry about anything, what would those things be that you would be doing with your life? Write those down. Now, what I want you to do with those 2 lists is I want you to create a visual representation of those things. So some people might create a vision board. Actually, let me pause a second. I'm gonna go get my vision board. One moment. All right, I'm back. So what some people might do is they might do a vision board. So this is like a sample of my vision board. I found this is actually an old one. Oh my gosh, it's super dusty. This is going great with the Halloween decor we got here. But I found this when we were moving recently, and this one's probably about 10 years old. But what I love about this is it has so many cool things on there that have now manifested in my life. Like, we wanted to live in Austin. We wanted to, I wanted to have a convertible BMW car. I wanted to travel to these certain places that are listed here. I wanted to meet Tori Amos, and I have 1 backstage passes. So another one on here, this bestseller on here. I co-authored a book last summer, and it became a bestseller on Amazon. So 10 years ago, I started the process of visualizing some of these things, and everything on this whole list, almost everything here, has come to fruition. So if you're not into vision boards, that's cool. You can do it other ways. Create something that is on your screensaver of your phone or on your computer. Write that list down and tape it somewhere in your house, but have a visual representation. My feathers are getting a little crooked. Have a visual representation of what those things are, what those biggest dreams are, because you need to keep them in the forefront. You need to keep them in front of you as you get clear and starting to believe that they're possible. Guys, what you're doing here is you're becoming a conscious creator. You're creating your experience. Spoiler alert, no one's coming to save you. You are in charge of your life. You're the captain of your ship. You're the architect of your home. You are the painter of your masterpiece. And it's up to you to decide what you want your life to be. I think a lot of people going through 2020 are waking up to this fact going, wow, what if I never got to go to Italy? Or what if I never got to do that? There's a lot of soul searching going on. And this is one of those exercises that I do on an annual, if not twice a year basis, to check in with my goals and kind of say, what are the next big things that I want to do? What do I want to be working towards? How do I want to be spending my life? It's not always about money. Like I said, sometimes it can be work-life balance. It can be fostering relationships. It can be doing things that you love. So whatever those things are for you, the reason I want you to create the list first is a lot of people will oh, I'm gonna make a vision board. Let me just get a bunch of magazines and go through and see what I want. No, don't let other people feed you what you want. Start in that place of what you want from your heart space, and then you go in search of, okay, let me find a picture of that house in Austin. Let me find a picture of that car that I want. And then you're in the driver's seat. You see how that's subtly different? So because what I'm trying to get you out of is out of the matrix that the world is of like telling you who you are and what you should do and, you know, what boxes to fall into. No, like when you become an entrepreneur and when you start to break down mindset monsters, the first step is getting clear on exactly what you want. So I want you to do that in a whatever virtual format that works for you. The next thing is, and this is the part that is so hard for people, because they'll go, well, I can't write that down because how would I ever afford a car like that? How would I ever afford a house like that? How would I ever get a house on the beach? Or how would I ever, you know, travel across the world? I have kids and responsibilities. Your job is not to figure out the how. That is not your job. That's never been your job. And this is the hard part. This is really the hardest part about manifesting, guys, because especially for those of you that are really pragmatic, you're like, that feels like a lie, like that I'm writing it down, right? And here's the thing, like when you are learning to be a manifester, and I was always a natural manifester. When I first started in the travel industry, I was like, oh, someone sold $1 million. If someone did it, I can do it too, right? And at 19 years old, having traveled nowhere, right, at that point in my career, I just started listening to people, knowing in my heart of hearts that if someone else can do it, I can have the ability to do it too. And within 1 year, had sold $1 million in travel. And it was almost because I was so naive to the fact of how the world worked. I just trusted that if it was possible, I could do it too. But what I've learned over time is it's never your job to like figure out the how. It's kind of like a GPS system, right? If I said tomorrow, like, how do you get to China? Do you know how to get to China? Can you write it down right now without using Google, without looking at your computer, without checking flights? No, you can't tell me how to get to China. You literally don't know. Like, do I take a car? Do I take a left turn, a right turn, a train, a plane, an automobile, whatever? Because what do? You put it in your GPS and it gives you one step at a time. So what we're doing right now is we're putting our destination in. Your destination, right? Whatever you put on your vision board or on your visual representation of your goals to get clear, that is the destination. We are starting from the end of your story and working backwards. Then how you get there is one step at a time. The getting clear part is the easy part. That's fun. You're shopping with the universe, what you want, blah, blah, blah. But then the second piece of letting go and trusting that stuff is going to happen, trusting that when you set an intention, trusting that it is possible, that is the part that is hard for people. So I need you to, your only process is get clear, keep yourself in high vibration, right? Keep yourself in a state where things are possible, where things are good. Trust that it is possible, believe that it can happen. And then the last thing is take action when it appears. You take action on those goals. You share those goals with the world. Start talking to people, start making them real. This reminds me of a story of a recent graduate we had out of Careers on Vacation, Jamie. She is a force, first of all. She's so fantastic. She went through our course just a few months ago, and she was kind of like getting her YouTube channel set up. She wanted to learn more about video and getting into that. And she just started doing stuff, asking a lot of questions. She did our video challenge that's in the course. And within a few weeks, she had, I think by the end of the course, she had over 100 subscribers. She had another influencer reach out to her, and they did what's called a collab on YouTube, which helps you grow your viewership. But she also had Disney reach out to her and say, hey, we're hiring, we're thinking about, you know, doing this Know Before You Go campaign. And they interviewed her and she got hired to be part of that campaign. And she came back and she was like, Cyndi, I have to tell you this, because I've been practicing these videos and doing these other things, I just felt confident and this opportunity appeared out of nowhere. And I'm like, it wasn't out of nowhere. It's because she did the steps, right? Like she got clear on what she wanted. She believed it was possible. She started taking action, even though going, I don't know if anyone's watching these YouTube videos. I don't know what's happening. And then boom, this happened. And then boom, that happened. And then boom. So that's just a one small example of how this works. And it's that letting go and the trusting part that is so hard for people. So I get that. So the next thing I want to talk about is actually like vanquishing the mindset monsters. Who are they? Where are they hiding? Where are you hiding them? By the way, tell me below, like, what is your number one mindset monster? Is it a time mindset monster? Is it a fear of failure? Is it a it's not possible because I could never, you know, is it I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too this, I'm too that. What is your mindset thing? We all have them. I even have them, and I have to like keep mine at bay in the same way that other people do. And how I do it is exactly how I'm training you in this video, right? But where I want you to start with this process, maybe you're like, am I sabotaging myself? Like, what are my main mindset monsters? I'm gonna tell you how to identify them so then we can slay them. And I want you guys to think about it like this. Whatever thoughts are going on in your brain, always, it's like a record player, right? So the first thing I want you to do is self-audit. Just pay attention to the thoughts that you are thinking, because what you think about, you bring about. Like, I didn't make that up. I think Michael Beckwith or someone amazing, amazing thought leader somewhere said that. I think it was Michael Beckwith. But what you think about, you bring about. It is so true. Think about your thoughts and beliefs like a great big frickin' magnet. If you think, I'm tired, you're gonna be tired. I'm tired, you know, COVID has ruined everything. Oh my gosh, my business is devastated. Whatever those negative things are, if you think it, you're bringing more of it. Now, the beautiful thing is the opposite is still true. As soon as you realize that you have this bad narrative going on like a record player in your brain, you can change it, and that is where the power is in the situation. So if you're thinking, man, it was a tough year, but I learned a lot of lessons. Right? I'm moving forward. Everything's working out for me now. Travel's coming back. People are booking trips again. Wow, I booked more trips than I have in 6 weeks. You know, and here's the good news. I know how to book travel. I had $400,000 on the books before COVID hit. If I booked it once, I can book it again. It's the same thing happening. These two brains are living in the same universe, but which road are you walking? Excuse me. So this is so important, guys, because especially right now, and a lot of you are still in quarantine, and some states are up and down. There's still craziness going on in the world. We're in the middle of this, like, you know, political crazy. Like, there's so much that there's not a lot of great stuff on the internet right now. So guarding what goes on in here is the most powerful thing you can do right now. 100%. Okay, this is whether you're in a COVID year or not. But think about your thoughts like magnets. So start to self-audit. And when you catch that thought, go, oh my gosh, nope, delete. And I was even doing it this weekend. I'm like, man, I'm tired. I'm like, wait, I'm not tired. I am full of energy. I'm full of energy. I feel this burst of energy coming on. I had to like catch myself in that audit and change my thought pattern. So I want you to think about what you want and start from that place of having new thoughts. And I want to also remind you of this. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. Someone said that too, I didn't make that up. It's another quote I read somewhere and it sticks in my brain. So if someone knows the author, please feel free to pop it in comments. But you don't get what you want, you get what you believe. That is so true. If you believe the sky is falling, the sky is falling. If you believe that, oh my gosh, people are talking about travel agents like nobody's business, everyone's gonna need one, demand is growing for our industry, people have cabin fever, they're growing again, then that's your reality. So you are responsible for changing the narrative here, and that is what will start to change the current of what's possible for you. So think about what you want. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it taste like? Celebrate like it already exists and start to change this narrative. And guys, look, change is not easy. Change is hard. I get it, because here's what happens. You get clear and you're like, I want this house on the beach. I want this house on the beach. I want it. Here's what I'm gonna have to do to get it. Let me start on my path. Let me keep myself in high vibration, work towards my goals. Your ego doesn't like change. Your ego is like, well, good enough is good enough, right? Like I always say, you have a choice. You can stay in crappy but comfortable, because that's where the ego wants you to live. It's like, well, it's okay. We're not starving. We're not freezing. You know, it's not great, but it's comfortable, even though it's crappy, even though I don't feel good, even though I'm not living my life's purpose, even though I just feel like the life has been sucked out of me. It's comfortable. It's what I'm used to feeling. Blech. Come on. It's BS, right? You have to challenge your ego and take charge. You have to move into fearful but forward. Think about like when a butterfly is like breaking out. It's like when it's trying to get you know, it's in that caterpillar state and it's trying to get out. What is it doing? It's just, oh, I'm uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable, and I'm pushing a little bit harder and a little bit harder. It has no idea what's happening. And one day it just flies out and it's a butterfly, right? Because it worked past crappy but comfortable and it was moving into, I don't know what's out there, but oh, I'm fearful, but I'm moving forward because this crappy but comfortable isn't doing it anymore. Change is not easy. You have to tell your ego, I am the captain of the ship. Here's our new coordinates. I just put them into GPS. We're going to China on this boat or wherever you're going, right? Here's where we're going. You either grab an oar and we're moving towards it or get the hell off my boat. Those are your choices because I'm in charge. You have to be in charge. You have to be the architect. You have to be the captain of the ship for your brain, or if you let it default into ego, ego's gonna go, let's just hang out and watch more Netflix. Oh my God, we can just sit on Netflix and I'll take the covers off my head when all of this craziness is over, right? That's what the ego wants you to do. That's a mindset monster. So I want you guys to get into fearful but forward. That will help start slaying these monsters. Then there's the next monster, the failure monster, right? I want to start by saying we've all had failures, like all of us. It's not like failure's not bad. The faster you fail, the faster you can get to how to do it better, how to do it right, how to do it with more success. And I know this comes from when we're children, right? Like, oh my gosh, you did that wrong. Oh, that's bad. That's terrible. So what we learn is we learn to associate success with love. And if you are not guaranteed of that success, is it worth even having the risk? Is it worth that risking that fear, risking that failure? Ooh, I don't know. I might end up doing something bad. I might end up being ashamed or not having love, right? So I understand it comes from a deep place, but I want to tell you, like, you're not a child anymore. So you get to take control of what's up here and decide that your past does not equal your future. In fact, if you think about your past in just a different framework and think about all of those failures that happened, they happened for me, not to me. They happened for me. So I now can make a better decision, a more educated decision. I learned from that failure. I'm taking that lesson, thanking the universe for that lesson, and I'm moving forward with more information, and I'm going to try again, and I'm going to try again. Your past failures do not equal what's potentially going to happen in the future. Your past failures were to prepare you for this beautiful future that is unfolding for you. So change that narrative. It's the same way. So, you know, another quote I'm throwing at you, you miss 100 of the chances you don't take, right? I think that was Michael Jordan. I don't know. I don't have sources for any of my quotes today. I'm just telling you, I didn't make them up, right? But that's true. You miss 100% of the chances you don't take. Fear has killed more dreams than failure ever will. So I am encouraging you to fail forward, fail more often. Give yourself permission to fail. There's nothing wrong with failing. Every time I fail, I never, Nelson Mandela, I know this one, I never lose. I either win or I learn, right? I love that quote because it's so true. So I want to encourage you guys, if you have the failure monster of, I'm not this, I'm not that, it is never too late to do what you want to do. It is never too late to take a step towards your life path, right? So here's how you know when you're slaying the failure monster. One, you feel the fear and you do it anyway. I am scared out of my mind so many times. In the middle of COVID, we have been investing more marketing dollars than ever. And at the beginning, even my marketing people are like, you sure you want to put that much money on it? Like we were in Vegas, right? You guys, it is paying off. We had a 30% increase last month in our travel business. That is huge. We are in the middle of the pandemic and COVID. I never stopped marketing because my marketing brain knows how this stuff works. And you know, it's a pattern, it's a path, and it's a process, but that's a whole nother video. But the point being is I'm always a little fearful when I'm making big decisions. The big stuff should feel a little scary. You're doing big stuff, but you feel the fear and you make a conscious decision to do it anyway, right? It's also, you're gonna know you're slaying this monster when you start believing in yourself again. when you start to have that confidence and you take a step in the direction of your dreams, you take a step, your life's path starts to unfold. Even if you're not there yet, it feels incredible. It feels like progress. It feels like you're moving forward. It feels like you're that butterfly, like, oh, this is what it feels like to be living the life I'm supposed to be living. Even if you don't have all the money yet, even if you don't have everything on that board yet, it puts you in that vibration of moving forward on your path. And you'll also start taking bold action on your goals. You put those goals down, what are you gonna do about it? Take some bold action to get there. Maybe you wanna have a better relationship with your spouse, book a counseling appointment. Maybe you wanna grow your travel business, apply for careers on vacation. Maybe you wanna have this amazing Maleficent costume for Halloween. Go to Amazon, frickin' order it. Whatever your goal is, like, take a bold action and move forward in that, in whatever you wanna manifest. So this is a quick story, and I apologize if you've heard it before, but one of the biggest things that I manifested in my life, when my husband and I first were like engaged, we used to drive to Austin. So we're talking like 18 years ago now. We used to drive to Austin and go, wouldn't it be amazing to live here? We would go up to Lake Travis and we'd hang out at the Oasis and we'd drive the hill country, and we're like, oh, but our lives are in Houston. I had a corporate job, he had a corporate job. And then we started a small business, and we still to this day have our brick and mortar travel agency there in the Houston suburbs. But we just felt so tied to Houston, like year after year, we could never get away. And finally, I was like, enough is enough. Like, I'm gonna put it on the board, I'm gonna manifest it. And the minute I got clear, like within 60 days, stuff started to happen. And by the end of the year, we had moved to Austin, you guys. Like, once it was just so painful that I was like, we're gonna do it. I don't know how we're gonna do it. There was no possible way. We still had a business with 50 employees. We had the travel agency that was there. We owned a house there. Our kids were in school. We're like, how would we even do this? It seemed ridiculous. And if I took you outside right now, in fact, when I do editing, I'll edit in, we live in Austin now. We have our dream home. We built our dream pool. Every day I wake up and I have coffee and I'm looking at the hills of Austin. This whole thing was ridiculous. This whole thing was just right here on a piece of paper for so many years, like thinking about it. But when I got clear and I did these steps I'm giving you, right? Letting it go, it is possible. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna take bold steps on moving forward. What are the things that will get me there? Let me take some bold steps. And lo and behold, boom, within 1 year of getting serious about manifesting that in our lives, we were here. So I hope that inspires you. The next monster I wanna talk about, and this is kind of a touchy subject for a lot of people, is the victim monster. So, and no judgment, like, I don't know you, right? I love you. I'm gonna give you advice. I wanna help you. But this is one that at different points in all of our lives, we're probably guilty of, right? The victim monster is the one that says, oh, well, I didn't start in the travel industry 25 years ago. I could never have success like Cyndi has. Or I'm not Tony Robbins. I can't go speak to audiences, right? That's one that I had when I was first a coach and a speaker. Like, oh, if I can't be Tony Robbins, like, do I even try? Of course you do, right? But it's a mindset monster. Like, oh, well, she's older than I am. She has all that experience. That's why she has a big company. Or she's younger than I am. I've missed my boat on that one. I should have done that, right? It's all nonsense. Those are just like victim. What happens when you blame like the outside world, or like COVID is a perfect example. COVID happened to all of us, right? Like, it's COVID's fault. This is what's happening. And yes, that sucks. We have to clear some disappointments around COVID, but you are 100% responsible for your life. When you blame an external thing, I can't do it because of time. I can't do it because I'm not that person. I can't do it because of COVID. You're giving away all your power. You're externalizing all of your power to manifest and create and to build a better, most amazing, incredible life for yourself. So that blame equals externalizing your power. Don't give your power away, right? And here's how you tell. Here's how you can tell. if you are doing this. Listen to your excuses. Your excuses will tell you who your monsters are and the monsters that you need to slay. I'll give you one out of my own. I don't love exercise and I love to eat, right? So I got weight to lose, y'all. It's no secret, right? I would love to go, like, here's what the victim monster says. Oh, I just can't work out, I don't have time. Right? I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to work out, right? Here's when you've slayed the monster, it sounds like this. I'm not prioritizing my health, right? You see how that's different? I'm taking ownership over the fact that I'm not doing a good job, as good a job as I could with my own health, right? I probably should be working out. I probably should be exercising more. Probably shouldn't be eating as many snacks, right? These are things during COVID year. That's one of the monsters that I'm fighting hard, right? I still get out and walk like 20, 30 minutes a day, but point being is that's one where I will have a tendency to go, oh, I don't have time. I'm running companies. I'm helping all my clients. I'm booking travel for everybody. I got to dress up in Maleficent and make a live stream for y'all today. No, like I have 100% control over my schedule. I have 100% control over my life. I have zero excuses. The reason I am not doing what I need to do is because I am not prioritizing it. So it is the same thing for you. If you are not growing your travel business to the level that you want it, if you are not having the relationships that you want, if you haven't reached a certain goal, hold yourself accountable to the reason why. I am not prioritizing that piece. Then it becomes, but I do have power over change. I could change my schedule to exercise more. I could do something to get me on the path of growing my travel business. I could, right? So when you're making that decision, what you're starting to do is adopting a hero's mentality. I want you to adopt a hero's mentality. Become the hero of your own story, whatever the things are that you want to manifest, right? Maybe it's the house on the beach. Maybe it's the trip around the world. Maybe you want to work from home. Maybe you want to take your travel business and travel all around the world. I have a couple of my former grads are going to be on an upcoming live stream. It was their dream. I remember last year when they did Careers on Vacation, they came to me and they said, Cyndi, our dream is to like have an RV and just go travel the world and have a business that we can take with us. They did that. They're doing that now. Like they just finished with their RV. I saw the pictures. I was like, oh my gosh, you need to be on the show. But anyway, that one popped in. Is my lipstick all funny here? Anyway, I got a lot going on with this costume and training at the same time. But the point being is that is a hero's mentality to go, I want this, I'm moving forward in it, no excuses. You need to commit to defeating that mindset monster. So here's how you'll know when you're slaying that victim mindset monster. Number one, your excuses become observations. So as soon as you say, I don't have time, I don't have whatever, go, okay, I have to rewind that. Like, let me take ownership and accountability over this moment and say, I'm not prioritizing instead. You start holding yourself to a higher standard to go, well, if I don't have that result, it's because I didn't do what I needed to do to get there. But what do I need to do? And just start asking the questions. It's not personal. This is just a dialogue with yourself, right? It gives you your power back, right? To go, you know what? I have power over whatever I want to change. Let me just make some changes and let's get on it. And it gives you ownership of your life back. Do you see how slaying that monster feels so different? Having a couple moments of courage to do big stuff will set you on a whole nother trajectory. You know, I started dreaming about having a travel school or creating something like Careers on Vacation so long ago. Like I was 25, I think, when I first started. Like I had been training travel agents for years for one of the biggest travel brands in the world. I had trained so many and I was like, I want to start a school. My dad and I even went and put a business plan together and we had it all kind of specced out right before 9/11 hit, and then the bank was like, it's probably not the best time to be launching a travel school and blah, 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 blah. But that's kind of where the dream started. And then it just, because all of that happened, the industry changed, we ended up doing our own travel agency and I focused on that for so many years, which were all great experiences, but that dream kind of never died. And then I had the opportunity to work with this amazing mentor, my first like consultant I ever hired. And they sent over a proposal on like how much it would cost to like work with her and to like teach me how to set up my Careers on Vacation, my whole program, like in an online format, because I knew how to teach travel agents. I knew how to have a successful travel agency, but how do I bring this thing to market? And it was like $7,000. And I was like, oh my God, $7,000. And at the time we had our other business, we had huge payrolls, and I'm like, I like literally was like, can I put on 2 different credit cards? Like, I didn't tell my husband. I'm like I'm in the closet, like calling my credit card and going, oh my gosh, I hope this works, blah, blah, blah. So it was taking that couple minutes of bold action, because I knew that's what I needed to get to the next level. And that $7,000 investment, and I say investment because when you are spending money on your education or on your business, it's an investment in yourself whether it works out or not. But I spent that money not knowing if I was gonna have to, like, you know, get a second job to pay it back or whatever. But I did it. Like, I did it. I took action. I worked with someone who knew what they were doing, put everything in place. And the following year, that $7,000 turned into $171,000. So was that a good investment? Of course. But did it feel scary at the time? Ridiculously scary. I'd never paid a consultant or bought a program that was that expensive in my whole life, right? So, but that little moment of courage, taking action, moving forward in my dreams, was a huge payoff. So it's the same thing. Whatever you guys are trying to accomplish on your sheet, and it's not always monetary. Sometimes it's emotionally standing up to deal with a situation. Whatever it is, take that bold step forward. So if you want to show those mindset monsters who's boss, and if your goal is to launch, grow, or supersize your travel business, there's never been a time to do that. I want you to apply for Careers on Vacation. You can go to careersonvacation.com/ready now. And the reason I want you to do it now, guys, is because we are in 4th quarter, which means next year, 2021, right? It's an amazing climate we're walking into. People have not traveled as much this year. They still have their vacation days because people are working from home. People are self-reflecting on life. They want to take the bigger trips. We're already seeing this in our own travel agency. You know, trips are coming in again. We're booking travel, but if you don't already know, or if you're aspiring and not in the industry yet, 1st quarter is the busiest season for travel agents. So, you know, really getting clear, dialing in, learning how to market, how to operate in an online space, learning how to be an effective travel agent, learning how to position yourself as an expert. All of those will be key to getting that market share that's available going into this new brave world, and it's going to be amazing. So if you guys have been thinking about that, I definitely encourage you to do that for sure. If you don't know, Careers on Vacation is ASTA affiliated, which is American Society of Travel Agents. Most coaches and programs and things out there, they don't have that affiliation. We do, which is amazing. And everything that I teach you in the program has been tested in my own travel agency, and we have an amazing team of experts that you get to work with, the same team that took my travel business from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month. And we have over 80+ case studies on YouTube, so just go check it out. So last but not least, don't forget to leave a comment below, because remember, I'm sure you've registered for the iPad, and you have to just leave 1 comment on each video, whether you can do it on Facebook or on YouTube, either one. And I'll put the link below if you haven't registered for the iPad contest. And guys, next week we are going to have another amazing episode in the Fall Back in Love with You series to help you all month long grow and supersize your travel businesses and give you some valuable information to help you reset into this new space and move forward into 2021 with being back in love with your travel business again. That is really what this whole series is about. And the team and I have just been cooking up these concepts based on your feedback, based on the questions that we're getting. So I hope that you're enjoying the content, and I love you guys. I wish you so much love, so much abundance, and I wish you the world. I'll see you guys next week. Well. Bye, guys. Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. If you like that last video, make sure you check out my other content to help you grow and scale your very own travel business. And also, I invite you to travel around the world with me and find out what I'm doing in my portable, profitable, award-winning travel business. Check out the videos.